Fred
Thank you.
Armisen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks so
How's
much.
it going?
It's going fantastic. It's going great. It's
great.
You know, I saw you backstage. We
Yeah.
were talking with David Blaine, and I didn't know you guys knew each other. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah. Friends of a lot of famous people. But we were talking, and you actually said you're getting into magic.
Yeah, I've started doing magic myself a little bit, and so I'm going to do a little bit for you now.
Well, I mean, well, Fred, but
Yeah.
no, but you know, David Blaine. David Blaine is coming on the show. He's doing a trick for us later on. He's one of the greatest magicians.
But that's like another level. This is me like starting to get into it and to get the feel for it. But you can all see this, right? So Jimmy, I'm going to need your help with this.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
So here he is, okay. And he was the first one, so that is one, okay? So you see that? So he's the first president.
Oh, yeah.
And after him came a second president, so we're going to do this twice.
Oh, I think...
Second president.
Yeah.
And so when is your birthday? What's the number of your birthday?
Say it out loud.
Yeah.
19.
19, okay. So 1, okay, and then a ninth of this, okay? So...
One ninth.
Okay, so that's a ninth.
It's 1/9 of the dollar. Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
All right. All right. So the third president. So the third president isn't here. Why? Because he's not here.
The first president's not with
No.
us.
Okay. Nor is the fourth. So we see that there isn't a fourth president here. Okay.
Yeah,
And
no.
so, what is the month of your birthday? What's the month?
It is this 9.
9. Okay.
9.
So we had the ninth before. So we've got this here.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
now.
Uh-oh. 9.
Okay, so we got 9. So if you count to 9, you know how to count, right? You learn in school, right?
Yeah, I did. I remember.
Oh, do you remember it? Have trouble counting?
No, yeah. You want
Okay.
to count to 9?
Okay, so let's count slowly. So 1.
There you go. 1.
There you go. There's 1.
Yeah.
2.
Sorry.
3.
3.
4.
4.
5.
5.
6. 7.
7.
8.
8.
And then, so who was the first president of the United States?
Don't even tell me. George Washington. Unbelievable. Look at that. Wow. It's unbelievable.
Did it work?
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, it is. That was amazing. That's really good. That's really...
Can I watch that back?
No, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that.
Okay.
But thank you so much for bringing that trick. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You really are getting great. Let's talk about Los Spookies.
Yeah.
Season 2. Tomorrow
Season
on
2.
HBO Max. It is...
Thank you.
I've been waiting so long to see this.
Thanks.
Gosh, I love season 1. It is right now 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, if you want to see something 100% fresh. For people, if you haven't seen it, can you catch everyone up? What is the show about?
So it's about a group of 4 friends who have a business where they hire themselves out to scare people. It's sort of like the opposite of Scooby-Doo. They're like, you just hire us and we'll do like hauntings and seances and things like that. And it takes place in a sort of fictional Latin American country. And
Yeah, was that on purpose? I'm assuming it was. Why is it?
just because there's so many different accents from all the different actors and stuff, we didn't want to have to do like, you know, to make it also like exact that you'd have to guess where they were from. It's better to just keep it, because we had some actors from Mexico, Panama, El Salvador, so.
You've on the show before. You've done many different impressions and accents. You've done different states. I think you did all 50 states at one point. Is there any way that could you do some different Spanish-speaking accents tonight on our show? And show
I can,
everyone
yeah.
The difference?
I could do some. Let's see. So Mexico is kind of a sing-songy. It's got a little bit of drama to it. So it's a little like, estoy buscando el concierto. Quería que, por favor, bailas conmigo. Quiero ver a Morrissey. Cuba is, they sort of hover around the consonants. So, los cubanos están aquí. ¿Dónde están los juguetes? ¿Quieren jugar los juguetes? And Venezuela is kind of, the tone of Venezuela is a little bit like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. No, conchale, vale. Estoy esperando. No me diga eso, por favor, no. Los colombianos es muy rápido. En Colombia es muy rápido. ¿Por qué quiero trabajar hoy si quieres trabajar mañana? Te pagué como $20,000. And so Colombia is a little bit like the sort of Ohio or the Oregon of South America. Just it's like, almost like a newscaster Spanish. Argentina, yo quiero hablar con ellos. Ellos están allí. Like leaning in on the SH. Chile is a little bit like, they're almost like saying, I don't feel like talking right now. They're a little hesitant. It's very almost like Morse code. Like, hola Pedro, ¿cómo estás, hermano? Que te olvidé la cosa y que te di un texto. That kind of thing. And then Brazil, that's Portuguese, it's not Spanish, but ótimo, muito bem, tão bem. So like, the feel of it is like, come to the party. That's always the thing when they're like, ótimo,
Come to
tudo
the
bem.
Thank
para la festa, tudo bem.
That's how you do it right there.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I want to show everyone a clip. Here's Fred Armisen in the new season of Los Spookies. Take a look at this.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, welcome to Sunset Sushi.
Thank you.
I'll take that for you.
No, there's no need. This is one of those new self-parking cars.
Beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep.
Beep. Sad. It's a beautiful thing. Fred Armisen, everybody. Season 2 of Los Spookies premieres tomorrow on HBO and HBO Max. More with Fred Armisen when we come back. Stick around, everybody.